Good day. Today we're going to go over a short little program that reads from a file and then places all of the contents of the file into an array. I have a file called animals.txt. It contains 12 lines. Each line has a different animal name. So let's get started. This would be a good use for a helper class so that I could figure out the number of lines in my file, because before I can dimension and declare my array, I need the number of lines. So let's assume that we will have in our main program int num lines equals line count be the name of the method, and I will pass in the name of the file, animals.txt. Now let's write line count right below. Public static int, because we want it to return the number of lines, line count, and then a string, which is the file name, which I will just call fname. Needs a return statement. That's fine. We'll get to that. The next thing we will do is declare a scanner for reading from the file. Scanner input equals new scanner new file, and inside the constructor for the file class you need the name of the file, which we're passing in as the parameter fname. Now sure enough, I would expect this to give me some errors because I haven't properly imported, but I will fix those and add a import a file object, and last but not least it'll want me to add the throws declaration. So let Java fix all of those. Still complaining about no return. This is a cumulative sum algorithm, so I am trying to loop through the file to figure out how many lines there are. So I'll declare a variable before the while loop, int num lines equals 0. My while loop is going to be while I have lines to read, so that would be while input dot has next line, and like any cumulative algorithm, the first thing I have to do is obtain the next. So I'm just going to read the next line. Input dot next line. No, I don't actually, although I'm calling a method that does return something, I don't need its return value. I'm not interested in what the lines are at this point. I'm only interested in counting them. So I'm going to increase my line counter each time through. And that's it. And I just need to return the number of lines. And that's my line count method. Good boilerplate code to use in another program. We have to add the throws declaration now to the main method, because it calls a method that has the throws declaration for file not found. And now we have the number of lines in the array or in the file, and I'm going to use this to size my array of strings. So string array, and let's call it animals equals new string array, and then we give it the size now, which is num lines. Now it might be worthwhile to check to see if my program is working. A good way at this point would be to print out how many lines there are in the file, or the size of the array at this point. So let's just do that. Let's print out the size of the array, animals. How many elements there are in it. Let's run our program. And sure enough, it's telling me that I have 12, so that's good. I don't need that line now. What I will do now is loop through and read the lines from the file and read them into the array. For this, I'll need another scanner object, this time a file scanner as well. Scanner read file equals new scanner new file, and the file name is animals.txt. And while there are lines, while read file dot has next line, I will be reading lines and saving them into the array. Now I can do this in a couple of different ways, but since I know each one of my line has one animal, I can just read the line, declare a variable for that line equals read file is the name of my scanner class, and now I use next line to read that line, and I need to assign the animals array, and I need an index for that so that I save this new animal that I just got in the right element. But what should index be? Let's call it IDX. Well, it should start out at 0 and every time through my loop get incremented. So I guess I could use another line, another variable for that. Int IDX equals 0. And the post increment operator, plus plus, will work well here because it will use IDX equals 0 for the first time through, and then after the assignment will increment that to 1 and then 2 and then 3 each time through the loop. That should fill my array. The while loop will process each line, and if I want to see if the array is filled quickly and easily, I can print out the contents of the array. But I use the arrays class dot toString method, and I pass in the name of my array, and sure enough I can see that it is absolutely reading in all 12 items in the array. And if I wanted, I could even sort the array using the arrays.sort method. And then I could print it before and after it's sorted. 2 different lines. And there you are. Walrus, cat, dog, elephant, aardvark, rhino, panther, giraffe, hippo, lion, tiger, bear, as read from the file in that order, then sorted, and then printed out in their sorted order: aardvark, bear, cat, dog, elephant, giraffe, hippo, lion, panther, rhino, tiger, walrus. Again, the key takeaway here is a method like line count, where you pass in the name of the file and it returns the number of lines, is good boilerplate code. Good code to have, because you may need that in the future when trying to figure out how many elements your array has before sizing the array. That's how we use it in the main method. Get the number of lines, declare and size the array accordingly, set up a new scanner for reading from the file, set the index into the array where I'll be saving elements at 0. While there are lines, read them, and for each line, set the array element. And then after the whole file is processed, I can access any elements of the array in any order, even sorting them. And that's it. Thank you for watching.